This is Kelly J. Patriot. Mayday! Mayday! All hands on deck. Wake up, America.
And Patriots alike, this is Kelly J. Patriot with Little Report Live, coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. And this is the post-game, post-AmFest Powerful Women Edition. We thank you for joining us. We just completed an amazing, incredible 4-day run here in Phoenix, Arizona. Turning Point USA AmFest, America Fest. 10 to 15,000 people were here over the weekend. An amazing annual event hosted by Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk. And we were so glad to be present and be able to speak and talk to and interview and see all the amazing people and speakers and patriots, both young and old, at the event. And what really stood out to me, and it's been happening for the past couple of years, there are so many strong women that are stepping up, speaking up for our rights and for our liberties. And it was much the same this weekend at AmFest. And there's a few people and a few women that we wanted to note in particular in advance of our special edition tomorrow. They will also go over the event in more detail. But tonight, we're going to focus on all of the powerful women that continue to lead the charge in the United States and around the world. And there was one woman there that I have seen, and we've all seen here over the past year, and that is Riley Gaines. And I had a chance to speak to her briefly and also get a picture with her. And we have Chadwick here producing in the studio. How you doing, Chadwick? Welcome.
Hello, hello. What a beautiful time it was.
Absolutely. And if you could go ahead and put up that picture of Riley Gaines. We've all seen her. She's the former college swimmer. Leah Thomas, who is really a biological male. And it was very, very nice to see and speak with Riley Gaines. And I told her if she's ever in California, I would like to be out there and support. For the past couple years, front lines and active duty. Another woman who was just amazing to meet, and you've probably seen her out there a little bit too, and that was Travion Cutie. You may think, where have I heard that name? Where have I seen that face? And I remember her going back to when they did the 19 indictments in Fulton County, Georgia. The lead defendant in that case was President Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and many others. And Travion Cutie was here with us also in Phoenix this weekend. And what an amazing individual. And we'll have a chance to show you her interview later. Chadwick, have you been able to put up her picture that a lot of boxes out from underneath the table. I'm not sure exactly who Ruby Freeman was, but all that she did was go out and simply talk to her, and by trying to seek the truth, she has been penalized and charged with RICO and a couple other charges. But we have a great interview, and you'll be able to see that later. And my last Georgia, they're in the Atlanta area, and I'll tell you what, Trevor and Cutie had a lot of things to say to Fannie Willis, including that she's going to win. There's no case, and that she's going to fight it to the end. And she is a true patriot. It was a pleasure meeting her and interviewing her, and she was one of the many powerful women who were there with us in Phoenix. And to name a few others, as always, from Reawaken America, to hear this weekend from San Diego, Kim Yater. And Kim's show is Take Your Power Back. Take Your Power Back show with Kim Yater, formerly on Salem Radio. Now she's independent, and she is an unbelievable, not only powerful woman in voice, in spirit, and also in stature. And we really enjoyed being around Kim again this weekend. We hung out down by her booth. We got her interviews. We interacted with some of her guests. It was great seeing Kim again. And I can't mention this event without mentioning powerful women and including Kim Yater. So Kim, it was great seeing you again. And also from Reawaken America and also other events I saw in Huntington Beach a while back. And that's Lindy Ann Hopley, who's a minister. She's from South America, South Africa, and has been doing the Reawaken America tour, speaking and doing a lot of other events. And she has a neat ministry and a weekly show and program. And it was great seeing Lindy Ann, and we had a great interview with her, and also Jerome Davison, who's running for Congress here in Arizona. And I'll mention Jerome a little bit later also. In addition, we also saw, and I had a pleasure to meet Jody O'Malley. And Jody O'Malley, you might have heard her name too. She's local here in Arizona, and she is one of the initial whistleblowers with James O'Keefe and with Project Veritas. James O'Keefe is no longer with them, but James O'Keefe was at the after party, which he hosted, and I had a chance to meet Jody there. And we've got a little video showing Jody O'Malley, and this is the James O'Keefe after party, which he had, where Jody and a lot of the other patriots, Jake Angeli, I met Chris from the Canadian Truckers Convoy, and a lot of other patriots and attendees of the event were there. And I think, Chadwick, you have a little video showing James O'Keefe, Jody O'Malley, and another friend of mine locally from Arizona, Jennifer, who's the first patriot I met when I was out at the Arizona audit. So why don't you go ahead and roll that, Chadwick? I appreciate it. This is the James O'Keefe after party from Monday at AmFest.
Yes, I do. I have that right here. And Selena, thank you so much for the updates. Sounding good, Kelly. You're sounding good. There was no audio when the picture were up. I corrected that issue, Selena. So thank you for letting me know. But let's get right to that video, Kelly. You were there hanging out with James O'Keefe. We all were. It was a good time. Let's pull that up right now. Go after Kelly, and I'll use your phone to take a picture. Or if you want, I'll just do everything on here, and I'll send it to you. Whatever you want, whatever you want. I'll join you. Okay.
Just like Daddy's gone.
I got a couple of pictures with you. Just like that, he's gone.
I'll tell you what, it was amazing. When James O'Keefe came in, he came marching in. He had his black glasses just like he did in the party invite. And he wears a flak jacket. He wears body armor. And there's a couple people out there, probably a lot of people out there would prefer him not to be around because he uncovers the truth. He's a real truth seeker, both with Project Veritas, who forced him out even though he was the founder, and he's now with the O'Keefe Media Group, and he's doing a lot of great things. So it was really neat seeing him. Jody O'Malley was on the left. James O'Keefe and my friend Jennifer was there in the picture also. I have to mention a couple other local Patriots that were at the event too.
Before you go on, Jody, isn't she responsible for his startup, for the reason why he even is what he is?
Do you know what? I believe she did the original undercover
operation.
Yeah, she did one of the original ones, and she was one of the original people who got who developed and uncovered some very important information to get Project Veritas going. So we'll be able to have her probably on the show sometime, Chadwick. I look forward to that, and just an amazing event. And we'll have another little section from another after party on our show tomorrow. But there at that event, at James O'Keefe after party, that was an amazing event. And I must also mention some other Arizona Patriot women who were also at AmFest, including Carrie Lake. And she spoke at the event. As we all know, she ran for governor in 2022. We all kind of know how that ended up. And much like the 2020 election, there's some serious questions about the outcome of that. But Carrie Lake's from Iowa. I was born in Iowa, lived there my first 7 years. So love her. She's a strong patriot. And now she's running for U.S. Senate. So she's also running for office again. There's been mention of her possibly being a running mate with Donald Trump as vice president. But we'll have to wait and see. But it was great seeing Carrie. She was interviewed there in the media room. And really respect her. And I had a chance to see her in court during her appeals. I attended one of the court hearings and had a chance to say hi to her. So Carrie Lake, strong patriot. Also saw at AmFest State Senator Wendy Rogers, who we had a chance to interview at a candidacy event last year. And at that same event, I saw a gal that I'd seen in Huntington Beach and I'd seen other times, and that is Patriot Barbie. And Patriot Barbie and some of her cohorts were also at AmFest. And we'll go ahead and show you the video from that candidates event going back to, I believe, November of last year that Carrie Lake also attended. And I had a chance to speak to Patriot Barbie. And Chadwick, are you able to cue that video up?
Yep, playing right now.
Thank you. We're here in the home studio here in Phoenix. Absolutely. People got to step up, and I think more and more people, fortunately, are seeing the light. They're realizing what happened, and people just need to take action. And a lot of people are running for office. They're stepping up, doing things locally, school board, and I know that you were kind of a Wonder Woman, and in fact, Patriot Barbie. Is that right?
That's right. So, for the record, Patriot Barbie is a name that the liberal cancel culture gave me in an effort to slander me. And I looked up the definition of Patriot and Barbie, and it was actually the ultimate compliment. Now I'm nationally known as the Patriot Barbie, and it's a great way to lead after Lindsey Graham anyway, so people don't think I'm the senator.
Exactly.
But
he's kind of a fuddy-duddy. I don't know about him.
No, he would never. He'd lose in a Lindsey Graham battle with me.
Kick his butt.
I totally would. But yeah, the Patriot Barbie is, it started off when I moved here as like a moniker, an alter ego. My husband would joke about who she was. But really, it's a full-time job now. It's, a call to activism and being very, very active on social media, trying to spread awareness about things that are happening to our kids and what's happening in this country and, the nuclear family and protecting women's rights especially. So the cancel culture created a monster.
I'll tell you what, and I'm glad. So that was a fun interview. I remember that, and I first remember meeting Patriot Barbie back in Huntington Beach. She came down from Oregon, I believe it was, and she had lost her business. She was conservative, she was Christian, and they attacked her repeatedly. The government tried to crack down on her. She tried to stay open during COVID, and she eventually said, you know what, I'm out of here. And she moved down to the free state of Arizona. So God bless her. And if you saw that interview, one thing that really stood out to me, her name, Patriot Barbie, her real name is Lindsey Graham. And that's why we mentioned about the Congressman Lindsey Graham and that she'd probably kick his butt. And that's probably true. She kind of looks like Wonder Woman when she gets dressed up there. So you got to love Patriot Barbie, and it was good seeing her again this weekend. There was also a group of women that really stood out at this event, and those were the women with the, it's called the Federal, let me just get this right, it's the NFSC, the new federal state of China. And this group is trying to take down communism in China, the new federal state of China. And they, for many years, have been actively trying to get communism out of China. And I had a chance to speak with them. I was interviewed by a couple of their reporters, and they're fighting hard to undo the terrible things that the government, the upper level government and elites that are trying to do to the people in China. And they acknowledged and admitted that China is also actively trying to make the United States communist also. So be aware of that. And as we all know, communism is not a good end result. And we need to fight that not only here, but they're fighting it hard in China, which is amazing. And this says, take down the CCP. And the new federal state of China is out there active, gaining numbers, and just trying to get the truth out. And with love and knowledge, I think we can make a difference. And they're fighting hard. And they remind me of the Vietnamese community in Orange County, where we have Little Saigon, and the Vietnamese have been fighting. Many of the people who are in California left Vietnam because they were trying to get rid of communism, and they're speaking up and standing up strong because they see communism once again creeping into the United States, into their new country, and they certainly don't want that to happen. So these patriots from these foreign countries, these communist countries, know that it's not a good way to go. They know that they don't want it in their country, and some of them have left and are now here, and we certainly don't want it here in America. So God bless them for standing up, for realizing that there's a better way, capitalism and freedom and truth and liberty, and that's what we're fighting for to maintain here in the United States, and on behalf of Kelly J. Patriot and Liberty Report in Chadwick. Some other people who were there, our last interview that we did, and it was the last interview of AmFest. Everybody else had packed up. They were breaking down their booths. And in fact, we did a final shot where they're actually breaking down all the stands where the speakers were. And that was Lady Erica Lynn Reddick. And her husband Benjamin had a great chat with them right at the very end. Pro-life, pro-love, a lot of different things. But their push is kind of as to the government and looking at what the government is doing, or more accurately, what the government is not doing. And they had an incredible book that's very ironic, but it's entitled Reasons to Trust the Government. Once again, Reasons to Trust the Government. And if you look through this book, and I did, and there's about 10 or 12 chapters, and after each chapter, there are blank pages, which basically verifies there's no reason to trust the government as to a multitude of important issues, because the government is not looking out for us. So we had a great interview with Erica. I look forward to keeping in touch with her and Benjamin. Great people, and just another woman patriot standing up, being strong, speaking up. And they live down in Texas, and she's got a platform, and we intend to keep in touch with her. And we'll also be having an interview, a remote interview with her sometime. And just an amazing lady. And speaking of amazing ladies, I have to mention Nicole Negrady. Nicole Negrady. And you've heard of her. If you haven't, you will now, and you'll hear a lot more about her in the future. And I was introduced to her from another friend in Orange County, Julie. And Julie told me about what happened to Nicole, and something great happened to her in large part because of her faith in God. And Nicole had a draft of a song that she had for a couple years and never really did anything with it. She used to be involved in Hollywood, singing, some acting, and some other things. And she was working with War Room and Steve O'Bannon. And Steve happened to hear the rough draft of this song one time. He said, hey, listen, that's a great song. Let's get that made up right. And this song was debuted on Steve Bannon's War Room about a week and a half ago. And the name of that song is Modern Day Holy War. Modern Day Holy War. And you'll have a chance to hear that song at the end of the program here. That will kind of be our little outros as we're leaving today here on Liberty Report Live with Kelly J. Patriot. But we had an amazing chat with her. We did a little walk and talk. We had a chance to speak with her further down by where the media area where Steve Bannon was broadcasting from. And I thoroughly enjoyed meeting and seeing Nicole Negrady, and I wish her only the best, and a beautiful voice, a beautiful woman, beautiful heart. She loves the Lord, and she, as you see when she sings, and then when you see the interview with her, she's just tremendous, and she's the type of person that we want to support always. So it was great meeting Nicole and seeing her live in person. She performed at Reawaken America up in Tulare. Steve Bannon got her out there. She performed, then she came straight to Phoenix and attended the event there in Phoenix for AmFest. We were very, very glad to meet her. There were also a couple very influential and powerful women that were not there, but we need to note. Well, before I go on, there's a couple that I think I missed earlier, and before I move on to this, a couple that weren't there but were invited. There was an amazing gal that we've all heard, known, and loved over the years, Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr was one of the speakers there. We had a chance to see her speak. Very fun, not just funny, but she sheds light on some of these issues out there that really make you think about what's right and what's wrong. And she has a unique way of expressing herself, as she always has. It was very enjoyable seeing Roseanne Barr. She's been speaking at Reawaken America. She was here speaking at AmFest. So if you haven't heard her in a while, you got to listen to her, because she's certainly changed her ways and changed her beliefs. And I think she's kind of understood and woken up to the realities of this world, and I'm proud of her. Another woman that is very strong that we've seen out there on the front lines, and that's Alina Habba. And she's the attorney in the Donald Trump case. She represents Donald Trump. She's advisor to MAGA Inc., which is a Trump organization. And she's a very eloquent, well-spoken woman, and she was also there speaking at the event. So we didn't have a chance to see her speak live, but she's always a pleasure. She's very sharp, and she represents the president's interests very well. So it's another powerful woman from the event. I just had to mention her name. There were also a couple influential and powerful women that were not there, one of which was invited to speak, and that's Sheila Holm. And I've had a chance to meet and spend some time with Sheila, but she was busy finishing yet another important book, and she was spending time doing that, so she couldn't attend the event, and she'll be attending next year, I'm sure. And she's one of the most incredible, amazing women, and knowledgeable and patriotic and spiritual women that I've ever met in my life. We had a chance to spend several days with her about a year and a half ago in Cape Cod when we had Gideon's Army, and also another group there with Ohio Brett and Coach Dave there to come together. And she's written several books, and we did a tour of the Faith Monument, and she did a walking tour of the Faith Monument, because she's written a book about that and a lot of other things. So we'll give a shout out, and I had a chance to interact with Sheila here earlier today, and look forward to seeing her soon. In addition, I mentioned I met Chris at that after party. He was the leader of the Canadian convoy, and we both talked about a gal that we knew who does media in Canada, who I met down here at the People's Convoy. She did the entire Canadian convoy, and that's Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson. So shout out to you, Laura Lynn. How you doing? I had a chance to meet her at the convoy down here in the Canadian convoy. She went from Vancouver all the way to Ottawa. She used to be a high-ranking news journalist on a major station in Canada, but left a couple years ago to independent. She's got a big following in Canada. Enjoyed seeing her on the People's Convoy here in the United States. She had a chance to interview me in Hagerstown, Maryland, at the end of the convoy, right outside D.C., and Ann Vandersteel was also there, and she's another patriot and strong and powerful woman that I needed to mention also. Formerly of the Steel Truth, I believe she's on Brighteon now, and she's got her own program. A very, very strong woman, and I had a chance and honor of interviewing both Laura Lynn and Ann Vandersteel at Reawaken America in San Diego, March of 2022. So a lot of powerful women were at this event. There are obviously a lot of powerful and influential men that we'll go over a little bit more tomorrow in the program, along with some of the other people that we had a chance to see and meet and interview here at AmFest. And one of those strong men I mentioned earlier, and I must mention again, and that is Jerome Davison. And he's a friend of mine. I've known him since the Arizona audit, going back to April and May of 2021. And he's running for U.S. Congress. I just want to give a shout out, Jerome. It was great seeing you again. You did a great interview with Lindy Ann Hopley, and just amazing to see you again. And we will be supporting you for Congress here in Arizona. I believe it's the 4th District. Is that right, Chadwick?
Yes.
Yeah, 4th District here in the Phoenix area. So if you have a chance to meet, greet, support Jerome Davison, please do so. Go to his site, JeroneDavison.com. That's JERONE Davison, DAVISON.com. Support him, make a contribution, support his campaign. I believe individually you make a contribution up to $3,333. Whatever you can do to help the cause, please do, because the money will be well spent. Jerome is a pastor. He's a former NFL running back for the Raiders. He played football at ASU here locally, and he's one of the best people I've ever met. And Chadwick's helping out on the campaign again, and doing some videos for him. So we had a viral one last time. We look forward to supporting Jerome. There's another local congressman who's running for Congress, and that is Anthony Kern, and he's also conservative here locally. And we support Anthony, and he was another neat gentleman that was there, Mark Lamb, sheriff, and a lot of others.
Anthony Kern will be coming on the show soon.
There you go.
I have this Jerome Davison in LA video, if you want to play it real quick. Want to play it?
Yeah. Why don't we pull that? If you have access to that. We were recently in LA with Jerome, and he was interviewed by Jesse Lee Peterson, and I was there also meeting Chadwick and Jerome and President. And I think I'm in this video a little bit too, but it just shows you a little bit about what Jerome's all about. So go ahead and play that, Chadwick. Thank you.
That's Jerome Davison, local action, baby. And hey, before you continue on, Kelly, have a couple comments here I want to read out. Brenda, you know Brenda, our friend Brenda.
I give her a shout out. It's good seeing her. How you doing, Brenda?
She said that she knows Jody O'Malley, friend of hers. She's not a fan of Wendy. A lot of people in Arizona right now aren't fans of people that didn't stick to their word. Anyways, we'll move on from that. But she said Patriot Barbie is great. Selena said, let's go drone. Amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, it was good seeing you and Patty and Cindy and everyone there. So some of the Patriots from the audit back in the day. Also, Charlie Kirk, I must mention, this was his event, Turning Point USA. Unbelievable event. Like I said, 10, 15,000 people over the weekend. And then it went through Tuesday with a good crowd the whole way. Just amazing. My hat off to Charlie. And we saw him speak in November when we were out for the Jesse Lee Peterson interview with Chadwick and Jerome. We went to UCLA and Charlie Kirk spoke there. And there's a video of my daughter asking Charlie Kirk a question and then Charlie Kirk responding. And here at AmFest, he was getting interviewed, I think, by NTD and Epoch Times. And when he was done, I said, hey, Charlie. He said, hey, just a minute. I got to finish some pictures here. They did some still pictures after the video. And then I went over to the other side when he was leaving, and he took about 20 seconds and chatted with me. And I just said, hey, enjoyed seeing you at UCLA. I'm the guy who had that liberal daughter at UCLA, and she mentioned something about me being QAnon and this and that. And he remembered exactly that exchange. He remembered what he said and what he had told her. He repeated, which was, maybe you'll learn something.
And we have that on video. That's a true story. We could back it up on video.
Yep.
Tell them who was videoing that, who came and hung out for a day.
Chadwick was out there with Jerome.
No, I didn't videotape that one. That was another guy with long hair.
At UCLA.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah,
but
you're talking here. Chadwick was with us in L.A. and filming here in Phoenix. The second day here at AmFest was my friend Andrew Callahan with Channel 5, and he was here with his videographer, Susan. And Susan's a good guy. He's got 3 kids. He lives in Las Vegas. He shoots World Series of Poker. They sent him to Monaco. And he also indicated that he was going to be working at the Super Bowl this year again in Las Vegas. He's done several Super Bowls. He does World Series of Poker, very high level. And he also works with Andrew with Channel 5. So we're very happy to have them with us. Andrew got a couple good videos. I helped him do a couple videos. So it was just a great weekend. So shout out to my friends at Channel 5. Andrew Callahan and Susan, great seeing you guys. God bless you. Thanks for joining us.
And Andrew got a lot of love there. It was cool to see because we have love for Andrew. So that was really cool. And, you know, the thing is, he was following around, Susan was following around with the camera and happened to catch exactly your story of Charlie Kirk, of him saying all that, where he said, oh, yeah, I remember that. Well, it's all caught on camera. So look forward to seeing that pretty soon.
It was really neat. And in terms of Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, when I did a little walk and talk with Dennis Prager before a longer interview, I asked him about his takeaway from AmFest, and he said the thing that really stood out to him was all the young people that were there, all the young people that were getting involved, that were being active, that were pushing for truth and freedom. And so that really, you know, it really said something. And he also was amazed at all of the great speakers there, and he said it's like a miracle, but only miracles or come from God. But he was just really impressed with the people there, as we were. I remember coming in, Chadwick, it was all these young people smiling, greeting us, friendly. That was just the kind of crowd that they had there at AmFest. So if you haven't been there, I'd really recommend in the future, get out to AmFest and join us. And we couldn't end without mentioning one of our favorite Patriots of all time, who's taken probably more shots and more hits than anybody in the movement ever since the 2020 election, and that's Mike Lindell. And we had a chance to speak to Mike, and MyPillow is one of our main sponsors. It was great seeing him, and Mike is so gracious and kind that he ended up kind of doing an advertisement for us as to our promo code, because our promo code is so unique and so perfect. And our promo code being God Wins. So Mike gave us a shout out, did a little advertisement. So if you want to help support Liberty Report and Chadwick and Kelly J. Patriot, go to mypillow.com and use promo code God Wins. And also the next day I saw Mike, and I had my God Wins shirt and had a chance to take a picture with him. So we'll be getting some of that out here soon. But it was just great seeing Mike. He's from Minnesota. I used to live in Minnesota before moving out to California. My dad worked for 3M Company for 40 years, which is based in St. Paul. So it's always good seeing those guys. And Mike is just so gracious. So support MyPillow. He's an icon. He's a patriot. I'm here looking at a life-size statue of him right here. And in fact, here's the travel pillow. I have to mention that. This is the travel pillow. And we'll put out a video sometime. I was here at the home studio watching an interview that Chadwick was doing, just resting with my MyPillow watching. And 20 minutes later, I'm asleep, because this MyPillow, the travel pillow, is just so great, and they certainly work. And Mike told us what his favorite products are. He's got the MyPillow 2.0 coming out, but and the Giza sheets, I think, were one of his favorites, and the MyPillow is just classic. So help support Liberty Report and Mike Lindell. Promo code God Wins. And also, Chadwick, you know this better than anybody. We were trying to get out a video recently regarding that special date in early January 2021 following the election, when a couple of us congregated back in Washington, D.C., and the video we put out kept getting shut down. They wouldn't allow us to release it. We had mention of January 6th. We had to take that out. We mentioned the Capitol. We had to take that out. And the video then finally was released with the title, A Picnic Without the Food. And that's kind of what January 6th was like. But because of that, they now demonetized Liberty Report. So we do appreciate your support. We're independent journalists. I travel from California, and Chadwick's here in Phoenix, and we appreciate any support that you can provide. I just wanted to mention a couple things which you'll also have down below in the description. There's a Cash App link that you can utilize. It's $, Liberty Report. That's on Cash App. And then also on Venmo, it's at the @ Liberty _ Report. And once again, that's Venmo, not AT, but the @ Liberty _ Report. So whatever you do to help support us, we certainly appreciate it. happy holidays to everybody in advance. And I also want to kind of give you a heads up of another show that we've recorded, and we were planning on getting out in advance of the live show here. However, the uploading and all of the editing and processing that Chadwick has to do, we're going to be putting that out tomorrow. And that show is going to be kind of a Liberty report relating to a post-game AmFest 2023 from Phoenix show. And that will be tomorrow, so look for that. It's going to be great, and kind of the topics that we discussed were obviously AmFest. We go into a little more detail about who we saw, who we interviewed, and that type of thing. And then also we talk about what happened recently in out in Colorado. And I'm sure you heard about this by now. And they have made a decision to remove President Trump from the ballot, which is incredible. They're trying to take we the people's right to elect a candidate of our choice. And so we go through that a little bit and kind of the three things that have happened as a result of that, one of which is Vivek has stepped up and said, hey, if President Trump's not going to be on the ballot, I'm not going to be on the ballot. And he's suggesting that other Republican candidates also remove themselves from the ballot. Also, the California Republican Party has said, listen, we're not going to play that game. If they're not going to let President Trump be on the ballot, then we're going to do a caucus and take it away from the primary process and do a caucus, whether it's local, county, or whatever. They're going to be forming groups and caucuses to determine who will be the Republican nominee. And in addition, as we know, President Trump's not going to just sit there and his people and just let this pass. I believe they've already appealed it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and they also will be challenging it at that level. So there's a lot going on. There's other states that have taken a crack at President Trump. And what's ironic is that they did not attack him, did not go after him for about 2 years until he decided that he's going to run again for president. So I think we all have a pretty good idea of what's going on out there. And here at Liberty Report, we encourage people to seek the truth and keep the faith amidst all these crazy, crazy times. It's like opposite day and Groundhog Day here for about 3 years, going on 4. So once again, everybody needs to stand up, step up, and be strong. Do not comply. We need to uphold those rights that are inherent, that are afforded by God, and also the U.S. Constitution. So I encourage everybody to continue to do what they can to support liberty, support freedom, support Liberty Report, and also we can't leave until we circle back and play that great, great song from our friend from Orange County, California, Nicole Negrete. And we have her song here, Modern Day Holy War, and I know you'll enjoy it. The lyrics, the visuals here are just incredible. And if you love God, you love our country, I know you'll love this song. Nicole, God bless you. God bless America. And all those out there, continue to fight the fight. It's not over. And don't forget, make God number one, and a lot of good things can happen. So, Chadwick, do you have any final thoughts before we move into the song?
I thought that was great, Kelly. I look forward to tomorrow. You guys share the show, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to do our due diligence to bring you the truth and our honest opinions on what's going on in this country and just in the world. So God bless you all. We appreciate you all, and we're not going to stop. We're taking our country back. God first, baby.
If not us, who? If not now, when? And without further ado, Nicole Negrete.
Modern day, what is it?
Modern Day Holy War, Nicole Negrete.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Liberty Report Live.
Hold on, Kelly. I started it too soon. You're still talking, so go ahead. You could go ahead and keep going, and then I'll...
Okay, and until next time, God bless you, and God bless America. And here's Nicole Negrete, Modern Day Holy War.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Here I am, a little older, a little wiser, a whole lot bolder. can't be true that everything you learn in school is always just a great big stupid lie. Things you wouldn't believe, mind can't conceive will probably make you break down and wanna cry. Don't you wanna know how to stop the flow of evil so blatantly running rampant in a modern world? There's some answers to these problems if you want to solve them. They're Jesus, love, and truth.